And Amon, this is always interesting. This is what makes running backs great. So he's got a ton of space either way. We widen. Chad and I widen. Mike does a great job of getting Corey Simon turned. So I think they have a double team with, he has a double team with Marco. We have the lead block. And so you get right here, and a lot of guys, because Will Henderson or Will or Lucci, the fullback, he has his head on the left side of the linebacker. So you just go, well, just run right through that play. But Amon is a cut back runner once you get past the line of scrimmage. He sees Mark Tauscher is up trying to get 32 cut off. If Amon keeps going to the left, 32 is going to catch him. In other words, Mark can't just like stop this guy. But because Mark's working so hard, if he cuts back right here, Mark's got him in perfect position. And now we're talking maybe a huge play. So this cutback right here ends up not working out, but you just want to see the thought process of Amon's seeing things that we don't see, right? You can see him in hindsight on the tape, but in live space here, he's thinking like, man, if Tauscher's got that guy at all, even if he doesn't have leverage to the play side, if I cut backside, it's out the gate because he's got that 4-1 speed. Ends up being a great play regardless because they're getting, I think we had some pretty good separation at the line of scrimmage here. We created some space, but that could have been a home run play right there. We're just a little bit off. There's a big man. I highlight Bubba Franks here. I think Bubba made 3 Pro Bowls when he first got to Green Bay. So he's a first round pick out of Miami. Back then, Miami's unbelievable. And I think his first 3 years, he's a Pro Bowl player. And so it's not like people respect him. He's a good player. People now don't understand how valuable he was. He wasn't a blazing speed guy. I don't even know if we'd call him fast, but he could block. He gives a red zone target. But look at the job he does. And he did this all season, is most of his career for us. Look at the job he does just running this dude off the screen. He beats that guy. The line of scrimmage is 7 yards back. He beats this dude so bad that he ends up falling down at the end, leading for Amon. I mean, but that is just, let's show it one more time. Look at the extension that our guys played with. A lot of people want to get, chest to chest and play in real tight here. Look at the extension that Bubba Franks' arms have. You play long. If you're a blocker, play long. Get extended on this person. Get them on their heels. When you punch and extend, you do that neck snap back. You get people's shoulder pads lifted up. It's much, much harder to perform as a defensive lineman when you're locked out like this. But, man, what a marvelous job Bubba did. God, he was a good player. Back to the power look. Now, this isn't power load. This is just our flat old power. Running through a couple of these. Why did I put this in here? Oh, look at Marco. This is what I love about this group. And some teams do this still. So Marco's a 3-time Pro Bowler. I think at this point he's 2-time. I mean, he's just pushing this dude off the screen. Gets up to that linebacker level. We're not dancing, man. We're driving, right? That's Nate Wayne. He's our former teammate. Great guy. So this is where Mike and I think, Flanagan, I'm talking about, think that we're athletes and we're not, and Amon just makes us look good. So Nate does a good job of reading this, and so I'm just trying to kind of wall off Nate, and whatever I know personally that whatever Nate does, Amon's probably going to make me look good as long as I just don't let him go. So I'm just trying to dance with him a little bit. I'm going to try to push him downfield, but you're trying to kind of get him out so he tries to out leverage you, and then Amon can cut back. That's exactly what he's trying to do as well, though, unfortunately, because he knows that cutbacks is where all his teammates are. Now, Flanagan thinks that he's running an overlap here with basketball or soccer and just going to outrun me to the outside because in our minds, we are as fast, if not faster than Amon. So ends up working out, of course. Amon makes us both look good by cutting back inside and getting this first down. That's why Amon is so special. But if Amon follows Mike, We both probably look stupid. I know that I'm gonna get beat to the outside because when Nate's faster than me, he's got leverage on me. And Leonard's probably gonna 53 is probably gonna run right inside Mike and try to make the play. But hey man, we both this is both in our minds. We're still basketball players. Got another Bubba look. Look at Bubba extend out. God, he's so good, man. We just don't you just don't get this anymore in the NFL. You just don't get this anymore. You look at the initial footwork. Number two hops into it a little bit, but he's got that extension, and then he sinks his hips and drives this guy off the line of scrimmage. A tight end getting 2, 3 yards of movement, 4, 5 yards of movement. I mean, just still working that dude all the way downfield. 5 yards of movement, single blocking against NFL defensive ends at the tight end position. And oh, by the way, he can catch touchdowns. Now, Najee is a hard runner. Najee 6'1", 245. He weighs just about as much as Will Henderson. But here's the Brian Dawkins, man. Welcome to the NFL. Brian is a real deal. Brian was the baddest dude in the building at the safety position. Maybe him and Adrian Wilson for the guy from the Cardinals. Man, those guys get hit. Unbelievable. This is what Amon did that was kind of sneaky good. He did so well. He could find that crease and just sneak through for a 5-yard gain on a 3rd and 1. Okay. Now, this will come up later, but the defensive tackle list between Marco Rivera and Mike Flanagan right now is a backup. I don't know his name. I'm not going to put his name out there, but he is not a starting defensive tackle on the Philadelphia Eagles. And any time that he was in the game, and we did this for multiple years with different players, especially the inside three that we were always talking because we'd play against the same guys. If guys like this were in the game and we could take advantage, we just need it was one of those situations where we would kind of know inherently like this guy has to be severely punished for when he's in the game. We have to be able to get him off the line of scrimmage, right? Because Corey Simon, is a top level player that's playing on that side usually, but when this guy gets in the game, like we really got to get movement. We got to get movement all the time, but it's like there's a difference in expectation, I guess. You should get 3, 4, 5 yards of movement against a player like this versus their top guy. So Marco and Mike here, and again, look at the extension on Marco, how he leads with his hands, gets off, and now just running. So Mike buries the dude. Marco's got this guy off the field or almost off the screen. You just see carnage everywhere here. I'm getting off and trying to cut. Bubba's done his job. You just got to love when you successfully run double teams, your linemen should be able to get downhill and be able to push those guys off screen. That's one thing I think that team in particular was really good at.